Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is MiAh the King, and today we're looking at yet another indie game just released on Steam last evening. This game is called Plutocracy. Plutocracy. I think I had it right the first time. Plutocracy? Whatever. But the Steam store page describes it like this. The business simulator, Plutocracy, gives you the chance to become wealthy and powerful to take control over the world. Where policy, laws, officials, and people are only the chess pieces, how do you play your game? I mean, and yeah, technically that's not wrong, but I mean, is anyone actually going to play this game? It's not a fun little game with jokes and risque arts or stories or characters or anything like that. It's not a fun little ha 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 look at this kind of game. It's a legitimate, serious game involving in-depth politics, business practices, along with using agents, stockholders, influences, blah 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 blah. I'm going to be upfront in saying that this game is definitely not for me, and I didn't like it. So, if you think that my first impressions are going to be a little bit biased, you're right. But, it looked really interesting, and I thought it'd be cool, you know, little simulator game, little fun little thing, where I could just have some fun and screw around for a little bit. I mean, that's most of the reason why people want to play games, right? Is just to sit around and have some fun. But no, this game is, well, it's not the type of game that should have received an early access, let me tell you that much. I mean, for a game like this that offers nothing all that extravagant, having an early access just seems pointless. I mean, I don't want to say dumb, but kind of dumb. Just, you know, make a short demo, damn it. I mean, it's a business simulator, and it doesn't even have a story mode campaign yet. It doesn't have any kind of multiplayer yet either. I mean, it won't even let you see the names of the developers in the game yet, but they have a little button for it. And there are even sections in the gameplay of the sandbox version, mind you, that are blocked off because the game's not freaking done yet. And it's a small game. So, why the early access? The game should not have been released like this. For a small game like this, with half of its gameplay not yet developed, it was a really bad idea for this to be released now in this way. So, what exactly is wrong with this game? Well, this is just a first impressions, you know, a first look. I didn't go very deep into the game, but that wasn't really my fault. The game doesn't have a tutorial. The best you get is a few hints that pop up and try to explain small things to you while not explaining other things, and it makes it really hard for you to try to learn how to play the game, and, you know, after I think I played maybe 28, 29 minutes, and I was so baffled, I was so fed up, I was so just done wasting my time that I was like, I got out. And that's why I'm making this video, is because I got to spread the word. I got to let other people know, you know, don't spend $25 on this game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's continue on with where I was at, alright? So I was saying that the best you get is a few hints that pop up and try to explain small things to you. Yeah, okay, I'm going to give you an example, okay? It tells you that you can gain more influence by gaining more prestige, but it doesn't tell you how to gain prestige or what exactly it is in the game. Now, there isn't prestige that I know of in this game. I'm just using this as an example. But let me put it to you this way. The hints are covered in confusing messages as follows. You need more of A, and can get it by first getting more of B. You can get more of B if you work on getting C. However, the game only tells you what A is. It never tells you anything about what B and C are, or how to get them. So that's like saying, hey, I need you to go get this, but I'm going to need you to first get these two things. And then you go, well, what are those two things? Well, I don't know. Figure it out yourself. That's basically what these hints are. That's a pretty shitty hint, to be honest, and didn't help me learn shit. And every hint is like that, so I didn't learn anything. I can only use my basic crappy understanding of politics and business to try and figure out a way to play the game. Probably not the right way, but I was doing something, I think. But even when I was doing things, the game wasn't making sense. I'm trying to buy a few $1,000s worth of stock, and the game tells me that I don't have enough money. So I look down, and what I see down there at the bottom of my screen is I have over $100,000. So where's the disconnect there, game? Why don't I have enough money? Make some sense. Come on, anywhere. The game says you need influences to buy stock from certain people and to do certain things. To get influence, you need to buy luxuries. That's pretty basic, right? That's kind of that A, B, C thing I was telling you about earlier. So that's kind of simple. Yeah, I know what a luxury is. You know, I know what influence is, so I can work on that. So I was like, okay, I need more influence, I need more luxury. So I bought some luxuries. But my influence didn't increase. Not even by 1 point. The game just told me that more luxuries I have, the more influence I'll get. So I bought luxuries and I don't have more influence. So did the game just lie to me? I mean, basically, along with its really confusing and poorly described hints, it's also got these inconsistencies between its own mechanics and what seemed like broken little things just scattered about that stopped me from continuing forward with no explanation as to why. I just found myself getting irritated really quickly. The game also liked to throw a random loading screen at me like 3 or 4 times in the first 30 minutes while playing the game. It wasn't like I was going to a new map or starting a new game or anything significant. It just randomly did the loading screen and didn't even bother to explain or show you what changed or anything. I don't know. Maybe when I was traveling between the states it did that, but why? Why would it need a loading screen just for moving a little pin of your guy's face to another state? That just doesn't make any sense to me. The game is also really confusing and complicated and shows you dozens of messages at light speed when you have the time moving forward, making it impossible for you to keep up with all the news and the mail and the updates that are being thrown at you. You'd have to pause the game multiple times just to read through the news and other updates and stuff, which most of them don't even matter, like at all. But then the game never unpauses or pauses on its own, so you can quickly find yourself either getting swarmed by tons of messages, most of which mean nothing, or find time never progressing and nothing happening, or time passing too quickly and too much happening. It forces you to micromanage way too much on a game like this when it just doesn't need it. With the only sounds being the cheesy music of that time frame, which repeats, it'll quickly get annoying. I mean, I don't mind the music because it is accurate to the time frame, but the fact that it's the same thing over and over with no other sounds mixed in, it's a bit disconcerting and it gets annoying fast. So let's go over this a bit more specifically. The game has a great art style that I do find comfortable and enjoyable, but that's probably the only good thing about this. Oh, and its originality. The music is desirable and accurate, but like I said, repetitive. I mentioned the idea. It is interesting, it's just executed very poorly here. The game is filled with inconsistencies, it has no tutorial, and its hints are garbage for such a confusing game. Oh, and you know how I've been getting really irritated about a certain thing that games like this have been doing lately? You know, hovering your mouse over something and there not being a text bubble or a text box that describes what that is? Yeah, this game decided to do that too. I don't know when it was that people just suddenly decided that that was unnecessary and people didn't like that or need that, because that's total crap. No one's ever said that that's dumb, that's a dumb idea, or we don't need that. That is a feature that is expected in games like this. It is expected, and if you don't have it, your game is lacking. Just from that little thing alone, it shows your inexperience with making video games. And it's really getting interesting. This is like the 3rd or 4th game I've done in the last month where I've been playing it, and there have been no little text bubbles or text boxes when I hover my mouse over something, so there's nothing there to explain to me what it is or what it does. And I gotta say, guys, I'm trying really hard to be neutral and to just be opinion-based, but this kind of thing is really starting to get on my nerves. And I'm sure some of you out there, even those of you out there who think that I get too emotional and too spitty, some guy said, in my videos, can agree that seeing the same thing that irritates me over and over again, it's going to be hard for me to keep it in check. The game doesn't make sense in several ways, but I will say, however, the game seemed to be stable and smooth and consistent for the 30 minutes that I played. But along with all those things I mentioned, I just don't get this game. I mean, who's the market for this game? Who are they targeting with this game? I mean, it's not your everyday, average Joe, because I'm your everyday average Joe. I'm also a long-time gamer. I've been gaming for over 15 years. Actually, almost 20 years. Yeah, I'm old. And I don't get this game. I can't imagine anyone else being able to get into this game who doesn't already have some preconceived knowledge of business practices and politics. Maybe if they included a simple and lengthy tutorial with some better hints, then this game could be marketable towards a larger audience. But as it is now, unless you already have education or experience with stock and bonds and business management, you won't really get this game, and you won't really be interested in this. And you shouldn't be. Why would you be? And I think $25 might be a smidge too much for a game like this. And I know in every video I do, I seem to be saying that they're charging too much. And that's because I'm right. That's because I'm right. And they are all charging too much. Everyone thinks that their shit don't stink, and they charge these crazy prices. Now, for this one, it is just a smidge, right? I think between $15 and $20 would be a good price for this game. Not just a smidge. I also think that it should be taken out of early access immediately and replaced with a demo mode, and that demo mode should be a lengthy tutorial. That way, you let people see what your game's gonna be like. I mean, you can still have the early access, purchase. That way people play your demo, and they like it and they still want to support you, and that demo mode should be a tutorial mode. That way it will teach everybody how to play your game and what's expected of your game, so that way when people, see your game and it finally released and they played the demo, oh, I know what the game is going to be like and I know how to play it, so yay. When the game is fully released, have that same tutorial mode in the game as an option, so that players who played the demo don't have to relearn and they can just get straight into the gameplay, or for those who didn't play the demo, at least have a chance at learning the game. But seriously guys, just pass on this one, okay? Either that or know exactly what you're getting yourself into, okay? The game isn't finished yet, it's missing some very important key features, and it doesn't really handle its content very well. It has a very interesting idea and a unique way of looking at it, I will say that, but unless you're like super smart, or you're used to playing stuff like this, or you've done stuff like this before, you're not going to get the game. It's not going to be a game where you can just sit down and have some fun. This is a game, it's like I was saying about Planet Zoo, which everyone seems to love for some reason, but I don't want to have to log into a game and study before playing. I should have to study the tutorial and nothing else. And if you don't even have a tutorial, then your game needs to be simple enough that I don't have to study. That's just how it is. That's how it should be, especially if you're going to try to market this to a large audience. But it's currently not worth your money unless this particular topic and genre is specifically something you're interested in and looking for. Don't come into this game expecting something different, or funny, or simple, or whatever. This is a complicated, dedicated game with math, business, politics, espionage, the works. So unless you've got some prior experience with things like that, this game's not going to teach you how to play it. So you'll be lost and confused, wasting away time, trying to learn the game, trying to find the fun, only to find out that it won't get any better and you just wasted your money. I'm trying to help and stop that from happening by playing it myself and putting myself through this torture. So if you guys still think that this game is for you, then, by all means, go play it and enjoy it. I'm not going to tell you not to. If you saw this and heard this and still think you might want to play it and you might enjoy it, then, fine. More power to you. I hope you do. I hope you get what you want out of it. I hope it's everything you want it to be. But if you saw this video and heard my words and you're having second thoughts, or maybe just not liking what I'm saying about it, or just having a little bit of doubt, then most likely it's not something you're going to enjoy. And with that in mind, don't waste your money. But maybe wait a few months. Maybe see if the developers make any significant changes. But don't buy it. I mean, if you're curious, at least, please wait for a discount. I mean, I personally am going to request a refund. The game just doesn't feel worth it to me, especially it's in early access state. It's not a type of game that I actually want to play and get involved with. It's not my, particular alley of games I like to play. It's just not for me. I wanted to try it out because it looked different and it sounded good. It looked like it could be a fun little mess around game where, I've seen games that do ideas like this much better, that are much simpler. You don't have to overcomplicate your games for them to be good. I don't know how many times I gotta say that in my videos, but your game doesn't need to be overcomplicated to be good. It can just have a unique, interesting idea handled simply with a different thought process in mind. I mean, why make this game so complicated? Why not just take half of the complications, the complicated stuff, and just cut it in half? Just take the complicated stuff, cut it in half, give us a fun simulator game. I mean, the whole point is to have fun, right? That's what games are. I said this in my Planet Zoo review as well. The games are supposed to have fun. You're supposed to be playing in a fictional setting, a fictional world, where you get to mimic doing something in real life, in some cases. But it's not supposed to be overly complicated or force you to study or force you to be dedicated, because it's a game. You're supposed to be having fun, not doing a job. But anyway, that's all I got for this episode, everybody. That's all the time I got. Thank you all so much for watching. It really means a lot. I hope I was able to help some of you come up with a decision. I hope I helped save some of you some money. And I hope to see you on my next adventure. Until then, I bid you farewell.